Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs and welcome back to Forever Stranded Lost Souls with the Cobblenauts. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I am slowly but surely getting used to what we have ahead of us here, and it is a complicated task, let me tell you. For a start, you may notice the FPS meter in the top left is looking a little bit more healthy now. I added Optifine into the pack and things seem to have stabilized a little bit, so hopefully we shouldn't have too much jittery footage for you guys, and thank you so much for tolerating that in our episode 1. Now, the recipes for torches are punishing in this pack. The thing I am discovering slowly but surely about Forever Stranded is that all of the recipes that you know and love from vanilla Minecraft are not here. They are in a very different place. It's not even quite like Sky Factory, which is what I'm the most used to out of any mod pack stuff because we've been streaming that over on Twitch. And right now I'm grinding this cobbled soulstone for various things. It basically turns into gravel in the same way that cobblestone does. It basically imitates cobblestone, but you can find it very easily here in the nether. And so, yeah, I've been basically grinding this down with wooden hammers, which are apparently the only hammers I'm allowed to use right now. I don't have the skills for any better types of hammer, but there we go. We can at least get a ton of gravel out of this, and I need to go and make another couple of hammers. We've worked our way up to some iron-stiffened meshes now. We managed to stockpile enough iron that I was able to get some iron-stiffened meshes on the go. This has really kind of moved us on in the tech tree a little bit because that allows us to get redstone and glowstone out of dust. Now the problem of course is that I need to get some dust in the first place, so that means turning the cobbled soulstone into gravel, which means turning the gravel into sand, and the sand thereafter into dust. It's a grind, it really is a grind, but it's a lot of fun doing this in the meantime. So we're going to make a couple of wooden hammers to at least last for another couple of rounds with this gravel I've got here, and then hopefully we should be well on our way to getting some more glowstone and redstone stockpiled. Now the reason I'm doing that in the first place is that I want to take small advantage of the fact that we have water in the nether, completely thanks to Chosen Architect opening that crazy chance cube at the end of the last video. But that means we can fish, and obviously fishing is going to yield a whole variety of rewards. I've already gotten myself a couple of fairly interesting fish as a result of that, but I feel like maybe it will lend to a few more rewards, and if it doesn't lend to kind of crazy stuff like enchanted bows and books the way it does in vanilla Minecraft, then at the very least we'll be able to test that out, and we can use it to gain experience. Experience, I am finding, is the key to this pack, because you have to earn levels to level up your skills to be able to use more and more stuff. Like, I can't even use an iron pickaxe right now because I haven't acquired the skills that I need. I need to like level up my mining or my, I don't know, some other kind of skill in here, my building, my gathering, something like that needs to be leveled up before I can even use one of those things. It's a lot of fun. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I was not expecting to have this much fun with a pack that is so tough on you. Anyway, things are looking a little bit more peaceful around here, and it's not just because we have the lovely pastoral setting of this village. Nemson actually placed this mega torch that I think he got from a loot chest or something like that. But yeah, we actually have some mob protection now, which is kind of useful because right now we don't have the means to craft any kind of advanced armor, and we were dying to those juggernaut blazes way too often. Let me tell you, they were a pain. But it looks like I'm getting a little bit of redstone at least. And wait, is that all? Oh, it's all fallen on the floor. It's all flung all over the cockpit right here. We're still kind of using this as a base right now, but look at that. We got 10 redstone dust. That's pretty incredible. We had 6 before. I have more than doubled our redstone supplies. That's exactly what I wanted. And it looks like we've got a decent amount of glowstone. So with this, we can take one of that and one of that, and I think we need some string of some kind. What I'm looking for is filament, this stuff. You just get some regular string, which of course we've got in fairly great supply, I think, because you can just get that in the same way that you get it in Sky Factory, just from infesting trees with silkworms and then harvesting the leaves. So now we can turn this with some glowstone dust and some redstone into, wait a second, oh, you need something else. There's an additional ingredient. You need a cauldron for this, and the cauldron is something else. Let's see, cauldron, what do we got here? This is, oh gosh, you need a water bucket. Okay, well that's something that's a little bit of a concern because to make a bucket, you need to make iron plates. And to make iron plates, you need an engineer's hammer. And, oh my days, yeah, there's a lot going on here. You also need a bone and some copper to make a cauldron. Well, luckily we have copper. We have copper in this chest here. So, yeah, we can turn some of these copper ore chunks into dust in this. And with this hand crank and this grindstone, we can turn it into dust that we can place in this furnace. And somebody's been cooking baked potatoes in there. So I will probably leave those for the time being. This is a completely different progression to Sky Factory, which is basically the only other pack I'm used to that forces you to make something from nothing. So I've been having a lot of fun figuring out what on earth I'm supposed to be doing, but thankfully, thanks to everybody's patience and help on my Sky Factory streams, I've kind of got the feel for stuff like this now. I kind of know that it takes a little bit of grind to get you going, and then you start automating stuff, and the next thing you know, you're off to the races. So right, 7 pulverized copper. Copper seems to pulverize way quicker than iron does. And I'm going to take these potatoes out of here. So I'll probably put them in, I guess, this vanilla chest. Hopefully somebody can open that, because you need to be level 3 just to open a chest. But copper can go in there. And yeah, we should be able to get ourselves some copper ingots. So the next thing we need to work on is the water bucket. And it seems like there are different recipes for iron plates. That's the thing. If I look up iron plate in here, we get several different things, and they all have different means of making them. Now, the Tinker's Hammer looks expensive. The Engineer's Hammer looks like the most straightforward one, because it only needs 2 iron ingots. There is another iron plate recipe, which is this one, which needs a forge hammer, and that uses 5 iron ingots. So that's a little bit more expensive. So obviously we're going to have to go with the one that uses the least amount of iron for now, just so we can make sure we are on the side of... Oh, we need hemp fibers for that. Ah. Well, let's see how, if anything, we can make those. We need a millstone. Will that allow us to... Will this let us grind that into hemp fibers? I wonder. No, that's not going in. Okay, right. Down the rabbit hole we go, folks. What do we need for a millstone? We need a wooden gear. Okay, all right, we're in business. We can get this. We just need some... I assume that is smooth stone. That just seems to be smooth stone as far as I can tell. So we'll probably need to cook up a little bit of that as well. But luckily I've been getting coal from all the stuff I've been sieving. So we can cook up some stone. That's not a problem. Where is the cobblestone? We've got some regular cobblestone, of course, from the village that we have out there. But I wonder if the cobbled soulstone would allow us to do the same thing, or if it would smelt from the cobbled version back up to the smooth version. I imagine it would. All right, let's see if we can make this with the regular soulstone and a wooden gear. Nope, turns out we can't. All right, cobblestone it is. Okay, folks, moment of truth. Here we go. Cobblestone, not cobblestone, freaking smooth stone at this point, and a wooden gear. And we have ourselves a millstone. And we've got a quest complete. I didn't even realize that was a quest. Fantastic. Well, I have a couple of unclaimed quests in here, so we are ready. We are milling. And I wonder whereabouts that ended up. Better with mods. Okay, here we go. So we can grind stuff using a millstone. The mill will crush items down, and we can claim a reward. We get 8 stone back. Fantastic. All right, I will absolutely take that one to the bank. Now, I wonder if this is like the quartz grindstone where it needs a hand crank in order to use it, because this seems to need a wooden gear in there. Okay, so the millstone is going to grind some stuff up for us. Okay, hemp. If I put the hemp in there, what's it going to do? Is it going to need a wooden crank? I imagine it will. Yeah, okay, right. Let me see what I can do about making a wooden crank. It just needs sticks, if I remember. Let me grab one more out of here. And yeah, we just need to make that like so. Does that go in the top there? Apparently not. Okay, it needs something else. What do you need? How do I power you? That's the question. And it looks like the answer was staring me in the face the entire time. This hand crank next to it is what activates the thing. Fantastic. I just have to hand crank it a couple of times. I was worried that I was going to have to build some sort of windmill contraption. And for a start, we don't know for certain if there's even any wind in the nether, and that was going to require an awful lot of doing. And it needed me to make stuff that I was needing the millstone to make in the first place. But look at that, we got our hemp fibers finally, so we can get ourselves an engineer's hammer now. If I remember to bring the sticks with me, let's grab those 2. Let's pop those in here. like so. Oh my days, this has taken it's taken so long to get to this point, but at last we have a hammer. It even gave me an advancement that's like celebrating as much as I am at this point. Oh, exciting times. Right, so hopefully all we should need to do is place it in there, and it's even got better durability than the Forge Hammer, so I've no idea why you would go with the Forge Hammer unless you absolutely had to at this stage. Right, so that's that, and that's halfway to having a bucket. Now, what was the last ingredient of the bucket at this point? 3 string. I think I even have that. Oh, I've got 2 in my inventory. I was ready to be so triumphant that I had 3, but no, I have 2. But now, at long last, if we put this there... Oh, silk cordage. There's so much stuff. Every time you put something in a crafting table, there's something. But, oh, my word. I've got a bucket, you guys. Oh, it's exciting. Oh, this is so good. Right, anyway, let's get out here and let's scoop up a bit of water. Now, the problem here... I'm a little bit worried, guys. I'm a little bit nervous because I wonder what's going to happen considering that we're picking up water in the nether. It's not making an infinite source. Now, that is interesting, because this is behavior we don't normally get to observe. We don't normally have still water in the nether. It's running into each other, and obviously I've got to be very careful with this bucket right now, because if I place that down, it's going to evaporate immediately. But yeah, we don't normally get to see water in the nether and what it does, and it looks like it's not going to reform into an infinite source. So I better let the guys know about that in the chat, because it's going to be touch and go when we end up moving some of that water around. Anyway, we have miraculously got ourselves a water bucket, which means we can make a cauldron. At long last, we can make a cauldron. And now this is... Do we have any bones? Now there's a question. I don't know if we... Oh, we've got 1 bone. Hopefully nobody will mind if I take this. I'll replace it. I'll kill a skeleton for you, I promise. Now, we've got ourselves the copper ingots we need. We'll put those around there. And we need to... Yes, okay, we've got a cauldron. Now we need to find out what on earth we need to do to power this cauldron. I assume this is going to be the case where it needs to be put over an open flame. And luckily, we're in the nether, and there are plenty of those around. So this one here seems like it'll be a good start. How about that? How about we place a couple of blocks up there, and then if we put that there, that looks like it's probably going to be cooking. And... one assumes that if I now right-click on this, okay, so I need to put in the glowstone and the string at the same time. Oh, it's cooking! Guys, it's cooking! It's cooking without water as well, which is great, because I have no idea what would happen if I put water in this, or I tried to put water in this, and I would end up wasting water that way if it wasn't the case. So... hopefully, fingers crossed with me, guys, we will get ourselves some filament out of this, and then we can make a fishing rod. This whole thing has been to make a fishing rod. That's the most incredible thing about this mod pack, is that you end up just going down the rabbit hole for a simple thing like a fishing rod that you'd make out of sticks and string in vanilla Minecraft. There we go, we've got one. Fantastic. Now, how many of these do we need? I think we probably need 2 in order to get a fishing rod on the go, don't we? Yes, we do. Okay, it replaces the string in the original recipe. So, we're going to have to get a little stockpile of this, but luckily, I've been able to get myself some glowstone and redstone dust in a pretty renewable way. So, with any luck, we should be able to make a couple of fishing rods, and then we'll be set for a little while. I've just opened another loot box, and it's only gone and given me another bloomin' watering can. I don't need another watering can. We've got 3 other things now, and we've nothing to water. I mean, we do, but I don't think I can use it yet, because I'm not level 6 gardening, or whatever on earth this thing... There you go, level 6 farming. Haven't got anywhere near that right now. I probably could, to be honest, but I don't want to at this stage. I've got better things to spend my levels on. Let me eat these cookies. Don't have to be any level in the world to eat cookies. But now, my friends, we can make ourselves a vanilla fishing rod. Oh, it's so exciting. Right, let's grab 3 sticks out of here. Well, I'll take 4 because why not? Let's put those in there. Filament down there. We've got ourselves a fishing rod. Now I have to have level 6 gathering to even use the blasted thing. There's a gold rod in here that doesn't actually need any levels, and that's what I've been using to gather the occasional fish here, but I wanted something that we could count on as renewable and that had a decent amount of durability, and you know what? It's not gone well. We need to get ourselves some gathering skills. We can at least start by leveling up 1. There we go. And we've got 1 skill point in this area. Now, obviously, Lucky Fisherman, luck increased while fishing. That's going to take us a few more skill points and a few more levels in other departments, including magic. And I've no idea what the magic mods are in this pack. It's going to be really interesting finding that out. At least we are on our way to getting some levels into the gathering skill and being able to use the fishing rods. The way I have been claiming levels throughout this entire thing is by doing quests. And it seems to be the best way of doing things, because right now, obviously, there are a few quests which have rewards like this, where you can get the occasional thing here and there. What do I want out of this? What's a treadmill gonna do? I've no idea. I might take the iron ore at this stage, because I've just wasted some iron making that engineer's hammer in the first place. So give me the iron ore back. We'll crush that down into dust. Hopefully that will work out. But here and there should be, yes, experience rewards for these quests. That's what we want at this stage. That's going to be useful. I think I'm going to get the chance cubes, just because at this point they're the most valuable item, but I have no intention whatsoever of using them at this stage. So now we have level 5. We can go back in here. We can go into gathering. We can add another level to gathering, and then we're on our way up, right? So this required level 6 gathering. Oh my gosh, it's going to be such a grind, you guys, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be so worth it. With the ship getting more and more crowded, I decided it was time to claim a house of my own. And I think this house is going to be mine. I've excavated it slightly from the netherrack, and thankfully there have been no lava sources in here that have set anything in the inside on fire, which I assume fire tick is on this pack, of course. Why wouldn't it be? So yeah, I figure I will at least temporarily set up in here, mostly because the interior of the ship is getting absolutely full of chests, and the other guys are online right now trying to sort through the progression of getting iron tools and stuff, so hopefully that'll have made a little bit of advancement in the skills area, and they will be working on getting their mining skill and their gathering skills up to scratch. Me, I'm thinking about setting up inside of this little house, and it's got a nice little backyard that I don't know, I could turn into some kind of farming patch if I possibly can, but I think it's going to be a good little place. There's even some ore out the back here, and I don't meet the requirements to break that block yet, but hopefully with a couple more quests under my belt I can. Now, there's a couple over here. I think this one has an experience reward. Okay, so we can at least get going there. It's also got a golden rod as a reward, so you know what? I think we might claim that just to have a fishing rod that we can use in the meantime. But yes, there we go, 6 levels. Okay, let's maybe go mining. Let's add one to mining. And there's a couple of really interesting skills in this. Obsidian Smasher. It highly increases the speed of obsidian mining while using a diamond pickaxe. That sounds so useful. Really wish we had that in vanilla. Anyway, I should be able to break this now. And you can get experience from just mining these ores, which is absolutely what we need right now. So I reckon I will dig into this vein. You know what? We have Vein Miner in the pack as well. Didn't know we have a Vein Miner in the pack? And we're uncovering even more houses right here in my backyard, which is nice, but this one looks like one of the fairly basic ones that you find, the little kind of 2x2 ones, so we probably won't do too much with that one. But there we go, folks. We've started already. Oh my gosh, somebody's got bonsai? What is this? I got some factory blocks as a quest reward, and you know what? I think I might even see if I can grab some iron and make a chisel so that we can alter those ever so slightly, because factory blocks and chisel go hand in hand at this point. There we go, folks. Got ourselves a chisel. Yeah, and I didn't want to make a massive base like really far away from everybody else. I felt like it was probably good to stay here for the moment, and to be honest, I want to stay in range of that mega torch so I don't have to worry about mobs in my base the entire time. So here we go. I'm going to make myself some caution stripes first and foremost, and oh, it's good to know that chisel durability is enabled in this pack, and I'm going to lay out some caution stripes around the outside of here. Not so much to say keep out of my base, because people can still come in and grab any resources I've gathered that they need, but I figure it would be kind of fun to have, like, make it look as though that this village has been sort of cordoned off a little bit, like it's not meant to be here in the nether, so we can kind of have some factory block stripes around that. It makes it feel a little bit more industrial, and like, as a starship crew, which we apparently were at some point before we crashed, we have taken the necessary precautions to secure the area. That's the idea. So yeah, this is how we're going to cordon off my house, and I'll probably put a sign up here, presuming the recipe for signs isn't too wacky, that just says Pix's house. Now, I've got myself a ton of spruce saplings, and I've been farming 2x2 spruce trees, which I think are pretty much perfect for what we need right now. We need to get a ton of wood very, very quickly. Let's see if the sign recipe is correct. It's not. Oh, of course it's not. Now, what do we need to make a sign? Let's take a look, shall we? Vanilla sign, we need some siding and some molding, apparently. And how do we make these? Oh, we need a saw. Okay, so we need to go down the Better with Mods route to get a saw as well. Let's see what that requires. Oh my goodness, more wooden... Oh dear. You see that static on the screen? That means there's an Enderman nearby. I think he's right outside my door. Yeah, there he is. Okay. Well, I will endeavour not to look at him while I discover what I need to make a saw. So we need 3 iron ingots, a leather belt. Now, leather straps from cut leather, from tanned leather. See, there's so much stuff going on here, but that's something else we can do with the cauldron, and some spruce bark, I guess. So that shouldn't be too difficult. We need a work blade, and we've got a flint work blade that we can use to get the bark out of that. And Valen's growing bonsai already. I like that. That's very cool. So yeah, I think we have some flint work tools. Goodness me, the Enderman has gone away. Fantastic. Right, we'll get some flint work tools from over here in the ship, and then I'll use my cauldron to tan some leather, presuming we have some leather around here somewhere. I'm sure there are ways of making leather in this pack that we don't need to worry too much about that. Yes, I knew I had my flint work blade in here somewhere. Right, next up... Oh, what am I checking out? Oh, the bonsai tree. Oh, that's amazing. That's awesome. Oh my god, it's growing. It's growing in the little pot. I should also point out that because we have access to the water from the village, they've made an infinite water source here, which is incredible and also super high texture. That's kind of nuts. But is that actually producing wood? I think it is. That's freaking incredible. That's super cool. It just all goes into the chest underneath. That's amazing. And even apples and sticks and stuff as well. Oh, I need one. I want one. I need one. That's going to be incredible. Now, how do we make actual leather? Does it have to be a redstone furnace? And it has to be 3 of that at a time? Or a trivection chamber or something? Oh my days. Okay. So the quest for leather began. I remembered myself and the others getting some leather items to break down into scraps, but unfortunately for me, that meant fighting pigmen. With all other options taking me down yet more crafting rabbit holes, I gave in to the inevitable. Luckily, while fighting the pigmen, I'd got one down to low enough health that I could one-shot him without the others ganging up on me, and he dropped a leather item I could craft into the final scrap I needed. Got some, and all it took was a suicidal run to go and attack pigmen. But we've got some leather finally. Now, if I could ever remember my way back up to the shuttle, that would kind of help. The first thing we need to do is scour this leather in a millstone. Okay, we got some scoured leather. Now I need to whittle a little bit more spruce bark so I can put this in the cauldron alongside the scoured leather to tan it. And now we've got some tanned leather. What we need to do is grab ourselves some shears, which hopefully somebody should have in here, and if not, I can probably make some out of flint. And that will allow us to cut it into strips, which we can use to make a leather belt. And the leather belt is kind of the key ingredient here. The rest of this is just wood, wooden gears, and iron. But the leather belt needs leather straps. Yes, we have some flint shears. Okay, good. So if we pop that in there with that, we get 2 cut leather, and we get 4 leather straps from each of those, which means we can make 2 leather belts. Absolutely fantastic. Did I just hear a saw? Has somebody already got one? That would be frankly quite hilarious if I'd gone through this entire process and somebody else has already made one. But soon it would become clear that nobody had made a saw quite yet. And boom, we have ourselves a saw. There we go. Fantastic stuff. So I assume this needs to be activated by the hand crank as well, considering that it's a Better with Mods thing. So maybe we should put it here. Okay, I have no idea quite how we use this. I think it's also... Is it the wrong way round? I think it's upside down. Okay, we move the hand crank over and... What on earth? Did that just break? Did I just break our hand crank? Oh no. Okay, let's see what we need to make another one of those. I've no idea what's going on at this point. Oh, apparently this needs something different than the hand crank. So I can probably put the hand crank back over here in this corner, wherever it got to. What this needs is something that I got as part of a quest reward not too long ago. It needs a gearbox and it needs some axles, and then we need some means of powering this. So I will take these outside because apparently the saw can also hurt you. So I need to be a little bit careful about that, but we'll set up a little sawmill over here, maybe outside the front of my house. and we'll put some caution tape around it so that people know that this is something that's going to be a little bit more dangerous to use. After many failed experiments with the gearbox and the axle, I turned to the quest book for guidance, and it turned out that the source of the saw's power had to come from a windmill. Making the mill's blades needed wooden slabs and 6 cloth, each made from 8 hemp fibers. So I returned to the hand-cranked millstone and spent hours grinding hemp down into fibers, stitching it together in the crafting table, slowly putting together the sails that I needed. Then finally the task was done. I had 4 sails. The end was in sight, and all that hand cranking had made me very, very hungry. And after all that is done, folks, I think I deserve some bacon. I just got some bread slices from a loot box, so I'm going to make myself a bacon sandwich and enjoy it. That took way longer than I expected it to. I was grinding hemp fibers for goodness knows how long just to make the 4 blades needed to make a windmill, and now I finally have one. And according to the quest book, it seems like I only need to make that one, and I'm a little bit concerned about this because I checked this out on the Better Than Mods wiki because I figured, you know, I'd better make sure I was informed about this whole thing, and normally a vertical windmill is the only type of windmill that works in the Nether. And this isn't a vertical windmill, this is a this is a normal windmill. I'm going to eat my bacon sandwich right now, and oh yes, the hand crank takes so much hunger from you, so much saturation just gets lost that way. But anyway, we should be able to make this windmill, and this windmill will hopefully be able to power the saw out the front here. And again, this is just like the fishing rod. All this has been so I can make a sign to put on the front of this house to say I'm going to live here for the moment. This is so ridiculous. And apparently the windmill needs a little bit of space around here, but yeah. The vertical windmill requires 8 blades, whereas the normal windmill only requires 4. So it would be punishing at this point. Hello? Excuse me. These things occasionally wander into our base, and they are not particularly strong, thankfully, but goodness knows. Let's hope. And the quest updated. A quest updated. And it should be a windmill. Yes. Okay, we've got it. Okay, let's have a loot chest for that, because hopefully it will give me some more food. And I've got myself a windmill. And that... Oh, 2 heart containers. Yes, please. I will take those. I will take those and eat them. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I think we need to add a couple of axles to it. According to this, it says, place a windmill on your axle with a gearbox. It will start to turn. Then you can place a mill or any block that needs power to work. Yeah, it needs 13 by 13 by 1 blocks of free space, including an axle in the middle. So I began the mammoth task of cleaving away the netherrack above my house so I could place this windmill and finally get this whole ordeal over and done with. Well, after what feels like an absolute age, oh my days, let me tell you, this mod is the most finicky thing I've ever encountered, but we've got it working, despite the fact that the sails are not turning. This mill is powering this, it's powering that, it's powering everything. We have ourselves a working saw. Oh, it's so exciting. Watch this. If we put the oak planks in front of this, pow! They get converted into oak wood siding, and then you can cut that down into oak wood molding, and you can cut it into tiny corner pieces and stuff as well. And then this works pretty much just like chisels and bits or carpenter's blocks would. You can... It even snaps into place like that. It's very clever. But, my friends, what we wanted to do with this in the first place was make a sign. Again, all this for a sign, but it's progress, because this will now power millstones and saws, and we can use it to make all manner of things without the use of a hand crank. And this is going to be it. This is going to be a sign that we can finally write on to say Pixlriffs' temp house. There we go. And that's what I wanted to do. That's all I wanted to do in this episode, folks. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I think we did a lot. I think we somehow managed to accomplish a whole lot, and thank you guys for watching it. It's been a pleasure. Let me know if you're enjoying this series in the comments, and leave a like on it if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye for now.